Make sure it's live. All right, Shalom Israel. Welcome back to Wednesday night class. It's good to see everybody in person that came in person. Also, shout out and shalom to you online, to your families. Hope your families are doing well. Hope your camps are doing well also. Shout out and shalom to Stream of Wisdom Houston, Texas, Stream of Wisdom Rochester, New York, and Stream of Wisdom Norfolk, Virginia. We're coming up on Passover very soon, very quickly. I mean, we look up, we're already in the 2026, getting ready to be at the end of the February already. So time is flying. And then right around the corner, Passover is May 2nd, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and say shout out and shalom to Kawakab as well, founder of Sword of Truth San Antonio since 1992. And shout out and shalom to his congregation and his family. Hope everybody's doing well in California, Florida, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and upstate New York, so on and so forth, and Detroit. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the Pocket Manual for Gaining a Leadership Position, Part 4. This should be the final, and then we'll move on to something else. But I think this is a very important, just as important as the other phases and stages. And unfortunately, I know we only teach per person once a week, so it's hard to remember Part 1 and remember Part 2 and remember Part 3. But if you can, try to take a look at it, because it's all built in succession if you are desiring to be a leader, or a parent, or a supervisor, team lead, so on and so forth. Anybody that has a leadership position. Also, today is Ash Wednesday. And instead of doing a whole class about Ash Wednesday, we've done a class already 3 years ago about Ash Wednesday. So if you don't know what it's about, if you don't know the history of it, at least if you go back to the class we taught, the class we taught 3 years ago was called Ash or Cash Wednesday. Because
I think I put under Q&A topics, something like that.
Q&A topics?
Yeah, like topical. I'm looking for it right now. Yeah, I think it's under Q&A classes, topical classes.
Okay. Yeah. So if you there's no need for us to do a part 2 of that, but I think the class we did 3 years ago was sufficient to get at least a well-rounded idea about what Ash Wednesday is, what Lent is about. Lent, of course, we know means spring, and without going through the whole class, basically, this Lent is a spring celebration that was brought in by paganism in the Roman Catholic Church. To try to fuse paganism and Christianity and merge it to get people to follow something biblical. So it was a conglomeration of paganism and Catholic religion merged together to try to get people to steer them to Christ. But its roots are all written in paganism. Lent is written in paganism. Lent, of course, is the 40 days leading up to Passover, 6 weeks. Fat Tuesday was yesterday, so Mardi Gras. For those that may know about Carnival, Mardi Gras, all these festivals that go on right now, they're partying right now in New Orleans. But that's not just in New Orleans. It's wherever the Catholics landed, and they landed all over the world. And so it just has different names depending on where you go. If you're in Brazil, it's Carnival. If you're in Trinidad, it's Bacchanal. If you're in New Orleans, it's Mardi Gras, but or it's Carnival in Toronto. But check it out. We don't want to go through the whole thing, but today is 40 days leading up to Passover. So if you want to know more about why a lot of our people, especially our people, are still blinded by these pagan holidays and still blinded by these holidays, check that class out. I think it's sufficient enough. But let's go ahead and get started on this and finish this topic. Shalom to everybody online as well. Shalom family for those in the comments and in the comment section. Hope your families are doing well and your health is doing well also. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's get to Psalms 109, 1 through 5. Don't want to talk too much about it last week because we want to kind of go into a little bit deeper topic on this leadership and what it means and the value of being a leader. Let's go ahead and get that. Psalms 109 and verse 1 through 5. Let's read that.
Psalms chapter 109, verse 1. Hold not thy peace, O power of my praise.
Go ahead.
For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me.
Now, what he's saying is, when you become, now we know David was a king, and we're not necessarily kings, but some of us hold leadership positions, or we desire to. So one thing you have to understand about stepping into a position of leadership is that people are going to do what? Read that last part again.
It says, for the mouth of the deceitful are opened against me.
So that means that people are going to lie on you. That's one thing that you have to understand as a leader, and that's why the class is called a pocket manual for gaining a leadership position. There are some things that you just have to understand, and that the leadership, what comes with leadership territory, is people will say things that may not be true, that are deceitful, but you have to be okay with that. That's part of the territory. That comes with the territory. All right, read.
They have spoken against me with a lying tongue.
It said they spoken against me with a lying tongue. Read on.
They compass me round about also with words of hatred.
And it says that with their words, they show me what?
Words of hatred.
They said they show me words of hatred. So if you're trying to steer the sheep, you're not always going to get the thanks and the appreciation and I value what you do, and you're not gonna get all that. A lot of times, what you're gonna get is just the opposite, and that's what David's about to explain. We also read it last week. Read on.
And fought against me without cause.
It says, and I wasn't even guilty, but they fought against me without cause. Read on.
For my love, they are my adversaries.
It said, because I'm trying to be right by the Most High. Anytime that you're trying to be right by the Most High, prepare yourself for what?
Adversaries.
Adversaries. That means people are going to come against your desire to try to do what's right. You just have to understand that. And you can't trip out because, oh my God, people are saying things about me that's not true. Well, that's going to happen. And we're going to explain why it happens. We're going to get to the details of why these things happen to people in leadership positions. Read on.
But I give myself unto prayer.
He said, but while I'm being hated upon, while I'm being misappropriated, while I'm being disgusted by people or despised in people's eyes, he said, I give myself to what?
Prayer.
So in return, the best thing you can do as a leader, regardless of how people receive you or not, whether it's favorable or unfavorable, you still got to pray for them. You still got to pray for them and hope that the Most High open their eyes up and get them to see what it is that you're trying to get them to see. You know? So he says, I give myself unto what?
I give myself unto prayer.
Go ahead.
And they have rewarded me evil for good.
It says, so, and they rewarded me what?
Evil for good.
Every leader, scripturally, has received evil for good. Moses was called a friend of the Most High. And Moses almost got some hot rocks thrown at him.
Multiple times.
He almost got stoned many times. Many times, the congregation had rocks in their hand. It wasn't just one rock. They had multiple individuals had rocks in their hand, ready to stone Moses to death, even though he was trying his best to be a leader of them. That was David. David's explaining it. Moses had to deal with it. Paul said, "The more I love, the less I be loved." Yeah. So you're not going to get what you think you deserve as a leader. You're going to get quite the opposite. So you have to become familiar and accustomed with the fact that it's a one-way street. It's usually all take and no give. And that's what you get when you're dealing with the Most High sheep. They will easily take from you, but as far as expecting to give something in return, the hope is that they change and they repent, and that's all you can ask for. Think about it. John the Baptist was beheaded. What did he do wrong? He ate locusts and wild honey. He didn't even live in the city. He lived in the woods. He was out in the woods. He was a 24/7 outdoorsman. What did he do wrong to get beheaded? It's just what did Christ do wrong? What sin did Christ do to be crucified? So what does it show? That when you step into a leadership position, people are gunning for you. People are aiming at you with things that are not true. People are going to malign you. They're gonna misappropriate your intentions, your words, so on and so forth. So we read also about Amos last week. Go to Amos next, brother. Amos chapter 7, verse 10. This is just a quick recap from last week. Amos chapter 7, verse 10. Amos also had to deal with the fact that His words were words of warnings, but how did the people take them? Read on. Or read that.
Amos chapter 7, verse 10. Then Amaziah, the priest of Bethel, sent to Jeroboam, king of Israel, saying, Amos hath conspired against thee in the midst of the house of Israel.
He said this paganistic priest said Amos is guilty of treason, and he's trying to overthrow you. But he didn't say Amos just pulled the Most High's wrath off of you twice, and the nation. He didn't say the good things that Amos did. He only reported the bad, which was only a warning, by the way. It wasn't even that he said you're going to die this way, because in actuality Jeroboam II never died that way. He lived out his life as wicked as he was with 40 years of rulership. Read on.
Amos hath conspired against thee in the midst of the house of Israel. The land is not able to bear all his words.
He said the land is not able to bear what?
All his words.
Was he saying something that was so wrong other than change? Was he saying something so wrong other than repent? No, he wasn't. But how did the people take it? If it's not what they want to hear, then they're going to destroy you. So now read that one more time. Amiyati in Psalms 109 verse 2.
Go ahead.
Just read verse 3. You just straight to the point. Verse 3.
Psalm 109:3. They compass me about also with words of hatred.
It says, so what do you get when you become a leader? You get words of hatred. Read on.
And fought against me without cause.
Is it true? Is their hatred for you substantiated? Do you really give them a reason to hate you? Or it's created in their own perception. It's created in their own ideology and own imagination. That's the nature of our people. And you have to embrace that this is what it comes with. It's okay. But our people will come against you. When you lead the Most High's flock and his sheep, you have to prepare yourself for this type of behavior. Right? Now, what you're dealing with in our eyes, our people have a particular, they have evil in each eyeball. I'll just put it that way. They have evil in each eyeball, and I'll explain it. But first, go to Romans chapter 14, verse 16, and then the next, brother, give me Isaiah chapter 5. Romans chapter 14, verse 16.
Romans 14 and 16. Let not then your good be evil spoken of.
So, what can you really control that though?
No.
Do you have control over the good that you're trying to do, and it's misappropriated for evil? It's contorted and twisted to evil. Do you have that kind of control over how people perceive you?
Not at all.
You can do your best. You can try your best. You can try your best. You can do your best to try to at least minimize the evil suspicion, the evil scrutiny, the evil imagination. You can try the scorn that you get. You can try to minimize it as best as possible. But he said what?
Let not then your good be evil spoken of.
So we don't. That's a great verse, and I believe that you shouldn't let your good be evil spoken of, but you can't always control that.
Shoot, Paul himself was getting evil spoken of.
Yeah,
And he was doing only good.
yeah, and Christ was getting evil spoken of,
Yeah.
and he was healing people from death and sickness and disease and leprosy.
Call him a demon out.
And they said, "Oh, you cast out demon by Beelzebub. You use the chief. You use Satan's right hand man, Beelzebub, the prince of demons, to cast out demons."
Crazy.
So you're not gonna get around people taking what you're trying to do, even when you have the best intentions for them. You can have the absolute best intentions for people, but you can't control how they perceive you. You can't control it, but you can do the best you can. So give me Isaiah chapter 5. We're going to explain what's wrong with our people. 5, start at verse 18.
18. Isaiah 5 and 18. Woe to them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity.
It says, so now our people, what's wrong with our people is that they got something wrong. And I'm gonna say two things, but I'm gonna just have fun with it and say our people got evil in each eyeball. I'm gonna just have fun with it because the truth of it is, it's two things that our people do of why they will hate you perpetually, and why you can't convince them that you mean them well. It's something that they have trouble with, that they're fighting with, that they have a difficulty overcoming in order to see the best in you. And he's going to explain it. Read it one more time.
Isaiah 5:18. Woe to them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity.
So now, let's explain what he's talking about right here. He says, destruction unto them that draw iniquity with cords of what?
Vanity.
What does it mean to draw iniquity? Meaning you're pulling something. You're pulling iniquity to you. This is what our people do. Our people pull iniquity to them. They pull sin and wickedness to them. He says, but they do it because it's based upon what?
Vanity.
What does it mean? It appeals to their imagination. People do things that appeal to their imagination. People are consumed with things that appeal to their imagination.
Which is it close to the concept of entertaining fantasy and wanting to make that fantasy their reality?
Of course. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I want to make what I want be manifested and come into fruition. So I'm pulling cords of iniquity with what?
Cords of vanity.
So I'm pulling things, I'm trying to force my way. This is in the sheep, our people. This is in the left eye. I'm going to say it's in the left eye. The left eye is saying, I want what I want. And I want to get it at all costs. And I'm pulling what I want to me. And I don't care about what you say. I think I need this, and I think this is good for me, and I think I should have my way, and I should get what I want. So what do our people do? They take these cords, and they pull these cords because they want their way. They want their business to be manifested. I want what I want to imagine to be made real and be brought into reality and manifested right in front of my eyes. I want to reap the reward that I so feel like I deserve.
Or I think it should just be this way. This is the way I think things should be. Another concept for that is expectations.
Exactly.
Expectations are connected to fantasy.
It's imagination. It's built on imagination. It's built on imagination. It's built on what I may feel like is real. So I feel like this reality is what I want. And the Most High calls this reality that we fabricate, or these ideas that our people have, he calls these ideas vanity. Yeah. But regardless of its vanity, we want it.
Yeah, regardless if it's real or not.
If it's real or not, this is what we want.
I'm the biggest boss. I'm the one everybody looks at. I'm a star player.
Or it's you mind your business, I'm minding my business. Yeah. This is my business. This is what I'm doing. So you can stay out of my business if you want. You're free to stay out of my business because this is what I'm about. So our people pull what they want to themselves, but the Most High says they draw iniquity to themselves with cords of what?
With cords of vanity.
So is what they want actually legit in the eyes of the Most High?
Nope.
Is what they want exactly what the Most High wants for them? No. No, it's not. No, it's not. This is one negative aspect that exists in one of our people's eyeballs. I got to get what I want, and I'm going to do everything in my power to pull it to me.
Does that mean I want to be... Because when people say pull things to them, people pull things to them by manipulation, by being destructive, by flip outs,
arguments.
By arguments. You're saying pull. That's what the spirit of the court is doing. But in real life, what are we doing? We're forcing our will to get that expectation or that picture in our head.
Yes.
To make that what we want it to be.
I will fight. Think about tug of war.
Yeah.
You ever play tug of war? What's the purpose of tug of war? Why is it one cord and one flag in the center, and it's the mud pit in the middle?
One person.
Say it again. You're trying to win. What's the objective of the game?
See whose will is stronger.
To see who to get you in that mud, not me.
Dirty your name.
Yeah. You know what? The victor is the one that's clean, that walks away clean. The losers or the weak ones are the one in the mud. But people do this with their imagination. People play tug of war with their imagination. They want to bring into reality what it is that they think about. They want to bring into reality the things that they agree with. They want to bring into reality the things that they imagine and create in their mind. I want what I want at all costs. He said this is one of the aspects of what you have to deal with when you're dealing with our people is you have to fight their ambitions. You have to fight their imaginations because they're always going to be pulling what they want to them, and our job is to pull it away from them and say that ain't what you need right now. That's not good for you right now. That's not healthy for you right now. You need to wait on this idea. Or I wouldn't pursue that if I was you. We're always pulling the cord back. I want this type of life. No, that life ain't good for you. Let me pull the cord back this way. No, but you don't care about me. I want this kind of life. You're hating on me. You're hurting me. You're killing me. You're doing this to me. Because I want this kind of life. I want this kind of idea. I want this kind of things that I said that I work hard for. I want things to be this way. And our job is to be pulling in the opposite way, telling our people, no, that's not good. That's not important. That's not what you should be focused on. That's not a priority for you. That's not a priority. That's not where your mind should be at. That's not healthy for you right now. But you leave it up to our people, man. You're gonna be in a tug of war match, and that sits in one of their eyes.
And you become an enemy if you don't give them.
If you don't let go of the rope.
If you let go of the rope, or if you oppose that false reality that they're pressing you for, or they're pressing for in general.
You know what? And he'll explain the depths of what we'll go to get what we want. We'll go to extremes to get what we want. Yeah. But a leader's position is to pull the other end of that rope.
Yeah.
To pull them back into reality. That this what you think is what you need is what the Most High calls vanity. How can you convince our people that what they're pursuing is vanity? And the minute you do, you're tugging away at their imagination. You're pulling away at their ambition. You're hating on them. You're hating on me. You're not showing me love. You don't love me.
You don't care.
You don't care. Read on.
Con, Isaiah 5:18. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as it were with the cart rope.
He says, and they pull sin as if it was a what?
With the cart rope.
A cart is a wagon. A wagon is what you put your personal belongings in. It carries your business. So what do people do when it comes to their business?
They carry their own baggage.
Meaning what our people do, we don't care if it's sin or not. It's my business. This is my business. You need to stay out of my business. This could be sin. But even if it's sin, it's still what?
It's still my business.
It's still my business.
We prayed again.
Yeah. You need to stay out of my business. Close the door.
Yeah. Wow.
Don't look this way. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
Don't ask no questions.
Yeah.
Because you're probing into my business. So that's in one eyeball of our people. That's what you're going to be dealing with. You're going to be playing tug of war with the sheep of the Most High. Yes, sir.
So people keep what they want close to their heart.
Yes. And they're always pulling. They're always trying to pull what they want to them. And your job as a leader is to pull the other way and say that's not important. That's not priority. That's not what you should be focused on. Or that you shouldn't be occupied with that. Because that's what people do. They occupy themselves with their business, and their business isn't always healthy. Right, because our people will fight, spit, drool, cry, throw a fit. They'll do anything to keep going in their particular direction and to have their way. We'll do anything. Read on.
Con, verse 19. That say, let him make speed.
And the other eyeball, what's in the other eyeball, which in one eye, I'm all about my business. I'm all about the things that I want, fulfilling my dreams, manifesting my destiny, living my best life. That's in one of our people's eyes. In the other eye is what? It says, verse 19, it says what?
That say, let him make speed.
Let him make speed, meaning, let me see you do something. What do they want to see? Read.
And hasten his work.
It says, let him make speed. Let me see you hasten your work. Go ahead.
that we may see it.
That what?
That we may see it.
That what? That we may see what?
That we may see it. And let the council.
It says that we may see it. Meaning, what people, in the other people's eyeball is, you're pulling me from what I want. You're taking away what I want. So I hate you for it. And the other eye is, I don't believe that you mean good to me unless you prove it to me that you mean good to me. And if you can't outwork me, if you can't outthink me, if you can't out-hustle me, if you can't outdo anything to me, if you're not better than me and what I quantify,
And what I deem valuable.
and what I deem is valuable,
Because it's, can you outproduce me in a carnal realm normally most of the times?
yeah, right.
It's not based off of the spiritual realm.
Of course not.
A lot of times we have to compete with people in their carnal realm.
And what they justify as being sufficient,
This is their carnal.
or this is a quality of life
Yeah.
that I feel like that if you're broker than me, if you don't have more money than me, or if you haven't made more money than me
You
in
can't
your life,
advise me.
then you can't do what?
Can't give me spiritual information.
I don't listen to you.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't listen to people like you
Yeah.
because you don't have anything of value to me.
That's a true point, though, bro.
And that's in the other eyeball. The other eyeball is you're not stronger than me.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got more muscles than me. You don't got the track record I have. You don't have the experience in life that I have. You don't have more knowledge than me. You haven't done things in this life that have excelled the things that I've done in my life. You haven't outperformed me. There's nothing that you can do better than me.
You didn't out hustle me in the world.
Yeah.
So why you gonna try and counsel me?
This is in the other eyeball of our people. Is competition.
Yeah.
And if I don't think if I don't think you can make more money. Our people use the most frivolous of measurements
Yeah.
to measure ourselves up with each other. But if I don't think you can outdo me, kids they like to race. Kids like to race because you ain't fast. I bet you're not faster than me. I bet you're not faster than me. I bet you can't jump higher than me.
Yeah.
I bet you I can throw a rock farther than you can throw a rock.
Yeah.
I bet you I could jump rope 500 times and you can't do it. I bet you can throw a frisbee. You can't throw a frisbee like I can throw a frisbee. Kids are competitive. We just translate that same competition over to adulthood, but based upon who we qualify is sufficient enough to receive instruction from. You ain't got more money than me, can't teach me nothing. Let me see what you do and how you do it and go about your life. And if your life don't excel my life, you ain't got nothing. You can't benefit me.
Or lack of degrees.
You don't got the degrees I got. You don't got the background I have, the education I have. Mm-hmm. Let me see your paperwork. Prove that you're more skillful at something than me. It even gets into you can't outsell me.
Yeah. That's a real one too.
You can't outsell me. I make more sales. We'll find anything to measure. Anything to measure ourselves up.
Yeah.
You got one car, but I got two. Who's in charge? Who's in charge? Who's in charge now? You just got your first car.
Yeah.
You
I've been had cars since I was 18.
You just got your first apartment.
Yeah.
I've been had apartments.
Yeah.
I've been had houses.
That's a true conversation, though.
You ain't never had no kids.
There you go.
So what can you do? What can you tell me?
I guess nothing, bro. I guess there's nothing else that can be taught.
Nothing else is going to be taught. What Isaiah is saying is the reality of our people. The reality of our people is you're always going to be fighting against their personal ambitions and desires and playing tug of war with what they want in their imagination. And they're not listening to you unless you can outperform them in whatever measurement they deem as suitable. I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you. You have nothing to teach me. I've been on the earth longer. I've done this. I've done that. I've made more mistakes. I got more experience. I've been around the world and back. I traveled to different countries. I did all these things. You can't teach me nothing.
You haven't got shot yet.
Yeah, you ain't got shot.
See,
you ain't
listen,
been in them
tell me when you get shot 3 times, then talk to me.
Little nigga named Nas think he live like me.
There you go.
That Tupac imagination.
That's the same spirit people rolling. That's a real spirit. He think he got shot. He can get shot. He can take 5 like me.
Take 5 like me.
So but you can't learn nothing from this person.
Yeah. But our people will go to whatever desperate measures
Yeah.
to hold on to their way.
Yeah.
Read that verse 19 again.
God, that say, let him make speed and hasten his word.
Well, let me see you cook it then. You don't like, you know what I'm saying? Let me see you cook. I bet you can't cook better. Your food don't taste better than my food.
Yeah.
Why should I let you buy groceries?
Yeah.
You can't even cook.
Those are real things, man.
I mean, anything and everything our people will say,
It's a competition.
it's a competition.
Yeah.
If you can't outperform me on something, I do not listen to people that can outperform me on something. They can't teach me nothing. That I prevail them and excel them in whatever it is that I deem important. We don't adopt valuable perspectives because we have our own perspective. And our perspective is measured up based upon something. Read it again.
God, that say, let him make speed and hasten his word.
And hasten his work. Let me see how fast you do it. I did it at this speed. I did this at this speed. I broke this down at this speed. Now I'm going to time you and see if you can break this down and beat my speed. If you can't beat my speed, if you can't install this faster than me, I ain't listening to you.
Don't tell me nothing.
Don't tell me nothing.
I'll give you a head start.
I give you a head start. I give you a head start. I'm going to put the tools right here for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put the instructions right here for you. And if you can't, you ain't gonna, I'm not listening to you. Think about a child not listening to a parent. Think about a child because you can't outrun me. You can't catch me. So, I don't listen to you. You don't got nothing you can teach me.
Wow.
But this is what the Most High is saying is that is in the mouth of the people that you have to deal with as a leader. They're disqualifying you based upon some frivolous measurements. They want to see it. They got to see you do something better than them. And if you don't do something better than them, you're not valuable in their eyesight. You can't teach them nothing. They're not following you. I'm not following you. You're not worthy to be followed. It's crazy.
It's based off the realm of their understanding. Right?
Kind of.
Like you're dealing with someone's lack of understanding, so you have a small realm to compete in.
Yep.
But the other things that they can't yet you produce or might be more productive in, they don't even get the opportunity to be in those shoes of having to maintain multiple responsibilities for a body or having to situation because they've lived a single solo life for so long. They haven't lived a life where you have to be interconnected so much.
Right.
So they don't understand anything about having to function and deal and be interconnected. It's more just can use life for life, muscle for muscle, dollar for dollar, situation for situation, bar for bar. Can you beat?
Right. And if you can't, if I don't see it, then I doubt you.
Yeah.
I doubt your capability.
Or if you do outproduce them, because there's the time where okay it goes there, then their spirits are dejected.
No, well, we'll get to that point too.
Okay.
But before we even get there, what do they want to see? What do our people want to see? I got to see you be better than me. Matter of fact, our people take it to another level. Read on.
God, that we may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come.
He said, I need to see that God is with you. I damn near need to see a miracle. I need to see God is with you. I can't follow you. You ain't got nothing. I gotta see your wisdom work for you. Otherwise, I can't follow your wisdom. Your wisdom is erroneous. Because this is the level of expectation our people have before they even begin to submit or follow. This is the expectation our people have. You got to prove to me that God is with you for me to say I agree. I'll do it. Or I'll consider it. Or I'll take your advice. So that means until this time comes, you're going to be fighting and you're going to be playing tug of war. Until you can convince our people that God is with you and that you mean them well, you're going to be playing tug of war with our people. Brother, can you please do this? I don't know. What gave you the right to tell me to do this? Who gave you the authority?
Yeah.
Who made you boss? It's almost like our people are waiting for evidence in order to follow or to take the best advice or to know that people mean them well. And until they see that the Lord is with you, until they know that the Most High is behind you, they look at you as a fraud. They're going to look at you with skepticism. This is to be remembered when you step into a leadership position. Steering the sheep is not going to be easy. Half the time, you're fighting their imagination, and the other half of the time, you're fighting their doubt and their skepticism. So that's half the battle right there. That's going to occupy a large quantity of time. Is convincing people that what they say and what they're about is no good for them, and what they're doing is no good for them, and that they should believe even though they don't believe. And that's going to be a large share of the time you spend with the sheep. Is doing a lot of convincing. And behind that convincing is a lot of skepticism. It's a lot of skepticism. He said, I got to see that the counsel of the Most High is with you. Read.
Says, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we
He says
may know it.
that the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may what?
That we may know it.
Then I'll believe you. You damn near got to make miracles in front of our people to get them to follow.
But the funny part, when the Most High does the miracles and does the confirmation, the followers like, I follow you a little bit.
I'll consider it. Yeah, I'll consider it. I'll think about it.
I'm thinking about what you said.
I'll think about it. I'll think
A
about
little
it.
bit.
A little bit. I'll think about it. It might work. It might work. It might. There's a 50-50 chance.
There's a 50-50 chance
That it might work.
I would say, I don't believe anything I read, half of what I see.
Yeah, and that's our people. We believe it when we see it. So what are you going to be fighting? What are you going to be fighting when you're dealing with our people? Imaginations and skepticism.
Yeah.
That's the two things that you're going to be fighting with our people. They need proof. They need evidence. The Jews require a sign. They need manifestation that the Most High is with you in order to take your words for face value, that you mean them well, and that you want the best for them, and you got to be pulling away what they feel like is best for them. That's going to be the battle. That's the nature of the battle of a leader. And for those that have already begun this journey, they understand that it's going to be a battle convincing our people to do right or to change or alter their thinking. It's a very difficult battle to get our people to change their mind. You got to have all the evidence laid right in front of them. The Most High almost got to put his stamp on what you're trying to bring to him. If the Most High stamp ain't on it, what you're saying is bogus. You're a fraud. Because the Most High ain't stamped this. How do I know the Most High stamped this? How do I know the Most High ordained this? How do I know the Most High backed this up? Read.
Verse 20, Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call evil good.
And until this time comes, our people is going to call what?
Evil good.
So, and what else?
And good evil.
Why is our people calling evil good and good and evil good and good evil? What? No. Why? I don't want to read on. I want to explain why. Why is our people calling good evil and evil good? Yes.
Like our wants and our expectations are like out of order.
Yes, that's one. And two, yes.
The process, God's process and the world's process are two different things, and that's what the world teaches, which is opposite of what the Lord teaches.
Yes, because I don't believe in what you're bringing to the table, and that you're ordained by the Most High to give me instruction. So in the meantime, the things that I see as good to me are actually evil to me, and the things that you say is evil to me, I'm gonna say is good for me. So guess what our people are gonna do until they put down their imagination and stop fighting for control and start believing that the Most High is trying to guide their life in another direction. Guess what our people are going to do until those two things are changed, or accepted at least?
Keep going astray.
We're going to keep going astray, calling evil good and calling good evil. Yes, sir.
I believe that people will
exposed and not coming around school, not coming around the word, they're gonna have bad perception.
Of course. But why do they have bad perception?
It's not exposed to the Most High.
They're not exposed, but they are exposed. They just don't believe. They don't believe enough. Yes, sir.
They simply don't want to change. They're comfortable. You telling them the truth means they have to change. Means now they not have to force an effort. I gotta make some changes now, but I'm comfortable. I don't want to change.
For one, it's not in agreement with my lifestyle that I want to live. And also, I don't believe in what you're telling me. So until that time comes, I'm just gonna, the things that may be bad for me, I'm gonna say it's good for me.
Okay.
Yes, sis.
So you're always contradicting until you accept.
Yes. You always live a contradiction. You become a walking contradiction until you accept that the Most High is behind your change, and that the Most High is instituting your evolution. Yes, sir.
People would rather please man than please the Most High.
Say it again.
People would rather please man than the Most High.
Absolutely.
They say that the Old Testament is done away with and it's the New Testament, stuff like that. Meaning that they would rather believe in man and say please man than believe in God.
The sister online said the scripture does tell us to prove all things through the Most High, but it also says to hold fast that which is what?
True.
Which is good. So we are supposed to put things to the test, but we're also supposed to hold on to the things that have passed the test.
Right. They do away with it.
Well, what we do with the battle of our people is half the time you fighting their imagination, and the other half you fighting skepticism.
Man, please.
Not man pleasers. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I'm explaining what's holding our people back and why they can't see the good in Moses, why they can't see the good in David, why they can't see the good in Amos, why they can't see the good in Paul, why they can't see the good in Christ. I'm explaining why we can't see the good. There's something that's keeping us from seeing the good in what the Most High is bringing to us, and the people that the Most High is bringing to us. Yes, sir.
Another thing would be self-gratification.
Yep. So self gratification or self-serving. Either one, either self-gratification or self-serving. Either way, this is why that no matter what prophet during what era and what time frame came on the earth and the Most High put in front of them, no matter what the quality of the prophet was, how did we treat him? We put him to death. We punished him. We tortured him. Why did we do that to any and all the prophets the Most High brought to the forefront?
To set an example.
No, because we didn't believe him. We didn't believe Christ, put him to death. Didn't believe John the Baptist, put him to death. Didn't believe Paul, put him to death. Didn't believe Moses, damn near stoned him, about to stone him. So, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Stephen, they got martyred. Why? Because we didn't believe them. So,
Well, they can't make you believe it.
Yeah, you can. But why don't our people believe? Because they have their own imagination that you got to play tug of war with, and they don't believe in what you're saying anyway. It's real simple. And the only time they might believe you, and that's a small chance, like me and Dahlia was talking about. The only time our people might believe you in what you're saying, and that's a maybe. Read verse 23.
Isaiah 5 and 23. Which justify the wicked for reward.
It says, now they might believe you if you do what?
Justify the wicked for reward.
Go ahead.
And take away the righteousness of the righteous from him.
If you pay them enough. Only time our people might consider is you got to show me the money.
Money look right, okay.
If the money look right, I might believe you.
Yeah.
You almost got to whip cash out in front of our people to get them to reconsider. Maybe I am doing it the wrong way.
Yeah.
He got stacks on deck.
He got stacks.
He got stacks on deck.
Maybe he's right.
Maybe he's right.
You got to reconsider.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong now. Maybe what I'm doing is backwards.
Yeah.
Maybe I should change. Look at this. What our people do?
Oh yeah.
With the stacks on stack,
Yeah,
I got the
money
money,
phone.
the money phone. I got the money sleeve. I got the
Yeah.
money laid out on my sleeve. Oh, mate, he's living right.
He's doing something.
He's doing something right. Say he's doing something right.
You must be smart.
Yeah, he's doing something that works.
Can't beat them. Join.
You know how many people, strong, solid men, that I seen lead the truth because somebody threw a check on the table and said, "Man, listen, you might want to reconsider your experience in the truth." This is no lie. This is not. It's not even a lie. This is true. This is true. Somebody came with a big check and said, "Listen, this is what I get every 2 weeks." Threw it on a cart where we work at. Blah. Threw it on the cart, and within a week that brother was gone. That's all it took.
True story.
And I ain't talking about a new man that didn't really know the truth. I'm talking about a seasoned veteran in the truth. Somebody showed him a check, said, "Listen, man, you get this this is what I get every 2 weeks." And within a week, that brother was gone. And I can say this because he was my officer. And he was strong too. And he was solid.
No problem.
He was solid too. But you know what? What made him change his mind? What made him forfeit his belief? He said, what did he say? Our people will do what?
Which justify the wicked for reward.
Yeah, you pay me enough, I'll agree with you. I'll see it your way if the money right. Then all of a sudden, that's the only thing that make our people reconsider. That's sad though. It's really sad because the Most High could put a prophet, a helper, a tutor. The Most High could put a person that's sacrificing in front of him, and all that don't mean nothing. The Most High could put a selfless individual in front of him, don't even mean nothing. Not listening to you. But you put some money in our people's face. Oh, now we're talking. Okay, what is it? What is it that you're trying to get me to see? What is it that you want me to know? How are you trying to help me? I'll consider it. But if you're not putting no money in our people's face, they're less likely to listen to you because more than likely you're getting in their way. You're getting that you're causing them to renege on their dreams. You're baller blocking.
Yep.
You're hating on them. You're interfering with their passions. This is what you have to understand when you step into a leadership position, is that you're convincing people to put down their imagination and follow after the Most High, even though they don't have the physical, tangible evidence. But a lot of our people need evidence to believe. They want evidence to believe. They have to have something to see in order to be convinced that, okay, this is the life I want to live. Because otherwise they're teetering on quitting or teetering on stopping or doing something else or giving up. They're always teetering on giving up or saying, I can't do this anymore. But why do our people have this reluctancy and have this mentality? It's because there's a difficulty in getting our people to see things a certain way. It's very difficult. And the best way that you're going to be able to help our people, one of the most important instrumental ways is 1 Timothy chapter 3. 1 Timothy chapter 3. But you're not done yet. You're not done yet, Amiyati. Before we get there, read verse 21.
Cut. First Timothy chapter.
No, Amiyati. I want him to finish. I want him to finish in Isaiah chapter 5, and then we'll go to 1 Timothy 3.
Isaiah 5 and 21.
Yep.
Woe to them that are wise in their own eyes.
What's wrong with our people?
Wise in their own eyes.
Why do our people are always pulling like a rope their vanity towards themselves? Because they're wise in what?
Wise in their own eyes.
Because our people always tell them that they know best. This is the common theme amongst the Most High sheep. They always think that they know best. You can't tell me nothing. You can't outwork me. You can't outproduce. You don't have the experience I have. You don't have the education I have. Whatever it may be, our people just line up different things to say why I can't follow. But truth of it is, it's their own wisdom. It's their own intellect. It's their own imagination that they're run by. Read that verse 21 again.
Come, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight.
And they're prudent in their what?
In their own sight.
What are you fighting against when you're a leader of the Most High's flock? What do you have to battle? What do you have to battle as a leader of the Most High sheep? You're going to deal with people that are wise and prudent in their own sight. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Or you're not qualified to tell me nothing. Or you don't pay me enough to tell me nothing. Either one. Either one of those. Either one of those. All those prevent our people from growth. The problem is our people are wise in their own eyes, meaning they see it their way. And to convince our people to change thoughts and change directions, to adopt a new mentality or adopt some new information, digest new information, it's very difficult to tell our people to digest new information, that especially that doesn't match their imagination. Good luck. What you got? Nagaha, you had your hand up?
Oh, like comparing resumes.
Yes. Yeah, I got an extensive resume. But you know what's so crazy? Our people be having a whole lot of resumes, but all them jobs was forced evictions, quitting, fired. I got all this experience. Our people got all this experience, but it wasn't good experience.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't good experience, man.
Yeah.
But the battle of a leader is convincing our people to reconsider, to change, to repent. That is a battle. And what you're fighting against is their imagination and their lack of belief and their skepticism. And what he's saying is, in verse 21, one more time before we move on.
Isaiah 5:21. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes.
And what is our people's problem?
They're wise in their own eyes.
They're smart. They're intelligent. They know better. You can't tell me nothing. I've been here before. I've done this already. I've experienced that. You know, I've been there, done that, and bought the T-shirt.
I can predict in this situation. I already know how it's going to end out.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
I've traveled. I've done a lot of things. I've been places.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
This is what you're dealing with. Read.
And prudent in their own sight.
So, this is where the struggle is going to be as a leader, especially with kids. Even as a parent, and you got kids that think they know better. I don't know if y'all seen that. Y'all seen that short? I don't know if it was a skit or if it was a real thing, but it was a father that walked in on his son and his son's friends. They was high. He had red eyes. Y'all see that? Yeah. You see that, Kariah? It was a father that walked in on his son. He like, man, what's going on in here, man? Your eyes are red, man. What's happening? What y'all doing in here? And the son was laying on the bed. Now we just chilling. He said, man, why your eyes red? He said, okay. He said, I'll be right back. He said, I'll be right back. Stay right there. I'll be right back. The dad went and got a test strip, a THC test strip, and put it under his son's tongue. He said, man, he said, man, I wasn't born yesterday. Let me put this on. Let me see what you got going on in here. He said, look, man, you finna take this test. He put the THC tester under his son's tongue, and it came out dirty. He said, oh, you got THC in you. Oh, this is what you're doing, huh? He said, well, I got a standard of living in my house that everybody in this house is going to live by, going to abide by. He said, you're disrespecting that standard. Give me your phone. And the son said, I ain't give you my phone. I pay for my phone.
Oh, wow.
I ain't give you my phone. I pay for my phone. He said, I don't care if you pay $200 for your phone. Give me your phone. He said, well, if you don't give me your phone, you know what you got to do? He said, well, I'm going to leave then. He said, well, he started reading scriptures to his son. And he said, let me walk y'all out then. Him and his friend, he said, let me walk y'all out. And he told his friend, take care of my son, man. Y'all got to figure it out. You got to take care of my son. And don't let me down. And then they walked him to the door and he said, at least let me give y'all a hug. Let me give y'all a hug before y'all leave. And he gave his son a hug. Then he gave the son's friend a hug. Let me hug you too. And y'all be careful out in that world. He closed the door, man. 20 hours later, the son called and said, I'm at the door. And the father ran outside and gave his son a hug and said, man, the love I got for you is better than the love that they got for you in the world. He said, nothing compares to the love I got for you. And his son came back in the house crying, almost like the prodigal son.
Wow.
I don't know if it was a skit or I don't know if it was real, but it looked real. But that skit has been played out in many households where the children think they know better than the parents, where the children think they're smarter than the parents, where you can't tell the children nothing because they think I know what I'm doing, and they have no idea what they're doing. They have no clue what they're doing, but they have the audacity or the idea to think that I can prevail with my knowledge, and they're working with limited knowledge. Yes, sir.
And in all actuality, he what you're talking about today, he did it. From what I'm hearing, from what you said, he did it the correct way.
Yeah.
He didn't do it like, you know what, I'm such and such age. I've been doing this for, I know this and I know what that world will do to you and blase.
He wasn't angry. He wasn't angry, and he didn't say it as if you're insulting my intelligence. He wasn't like, are you trying to play me? I'm gonna beat your tail because now you're trying to play me stupid.
Right.
It wasn't angry. He said, listen, I love you. I just have a standard for you that you're not going to violate. And if you're not going to meet the standard, then you got to go, but I still love you. That don't take away from the fact that I love you. But you got to experience it. You got to experience it, and you got to close the door. And then when the son walked off, the father was crying. He was at his head. He was on the table. He was at the table crying, reading scriptures.
Right.
Because that is torture for a parent to let your child walk out into the world knowing that the world is evil. And you got to stomach the fact that you don't know when they're gonna come back, if they come back. You know how much pain that is for a parent to know that a child don't know no better but think they know better.
Yeah, they might not come back the same.
And then the world just crushes their spirit. Then they come back in pieces. But if you love them enough, you put them back together. And if the child is humble enough, they will be allowed to be put. They will let you put them back together if they're humble enough. But the trouble. Somebody put the AC on real quick. I have to get that AC real fast. Hannah, can you put that on? Put on 71. So the trouble is the fact that you, as a leader, you're going to deal with people that think they know better. You're fighting against their imagination and their skepticism and their false sense of conceit, their false sense of intelligence. And that's what you're fighting against as a leader. So the best thing that you can do while you're dealing with this with the Most High sheep, now let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 3, and we'll start at verse 1 and 2.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1 reads. You ready?
Ready.
Come. 1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1 reads. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop.
He said this is a true saying. A bishop is a leader of a church. He said if a man desire the office of a bishop, if you wish to desire a leadership position, read.
He desired a good work.
Being a leader of the Most High sheep is a good work. It is a very good work. It's an appropriate work. But there are requirements of this work. It is requirements to being a leader of the Most High sheep. What are those requirements? Read.
Verse 2. A bishop then must be blameless.
Stop right there. What's the first requirement of being a leader at all? And even if you're a parent, a mother or a father, what must you be?
Blameless.
He says you got to be blameless. Can somebody give me the definition of blameless?
Blameless. 1828 West Dictionary. Without fault. Innocent.
It says you got to be without what?
Without fault.
So at the minute you have children, then you have to minimize and remove as many of your faults as you possibly can. Why is that so important? Let's find out. Read this for me, Daria. We're gonna keep going on that, Karai. Just give me 1 second. This is Basilicon Duran, for those we've used it before in class. Basically, it's King James' book to his son Prince Henry. King James feared assassination. He feared he was going to be put to death, and so he wrote a book to prepare his son to take the throne in the event that he was assassinated. So unfortunately, his son never reached the throne. His son died of an illness at 18, so he never became king. He actually outlived his son. But in preparation of assassination, he wrote this book to his son, and he was telling his son what it means to be a leader. And I think it's appropriate for the class. Read this right here, page 103. I want you to read where it says, "Remember therefore." Remember that.
Here, right there, right there, it's right here, it's right here. Yeah,
Hold on one second. Let me see. Read therefore, my son. Therefore, my son. Read that right there.
Okay. Page 103, Silicon Durant. Therefore, my son.
He said, therefore, my son. Read.
First of all things.
He said, first of all, read.
Learn to know and love that God whom ye have a double obligation.
It says you got a double duty as a leader. You got a double duty. You got a double obligation. Read.
That God whom to ye have a double obligation. First, for that he made you a man.
He says first you're a man. So now you gotta.
That's no obligation by itself.
That's an obligation to be a man. You got to be a man. That's number one.
Yeah.
Read.
And next, for that he made you a little God.
But that God is a small case G.
Yeah.
He says, so as you become a king, you're going to be a micro version of a God. You're going to be a little God. That means you're going to have dominion. You're going to have authority. You're going to have power. But just like a parent is the God of that child, so to speak. It's the one that has authority and dominion and power over the children. Read.
To sit on his throne and rule.
It said, but you're not doing it. It's not your throne. You're not flexing your power.
No.
He says, as a leader, you've been given the obligation to sit on the Most High's throne as a miniature God. It's still his throne.
Yeah.
It's still his kingdom. It's still his sheep. Read on.
And rule over other men.
And you get to rule over other men. But you're doing it as an obligation in servitude to God. This is not by your desire. You better serve the Most High because that's his throne that you're sitting on. You're wielding power over his people. And he said, you got to remember that. Read.
Remember that. As in dignity.
He says, as in dignity, read.
He hath erected you above others.
He says, in dignity, as a leader, the Most High has erected you above others. In dignity. So you have a special obligation to the people to be more just, to have more honesty, to have more integrity. You have to elevate yourself and hold yourself accountable to a higher standard. That's true. Because of the position that you're in. I mean, you can't do the things that you used to do that used to be for fun or entertainment. It's not about you anymore. It's about the sheep. He says that you ought what?
It says, he hath erected you above others, so ought ye in thankfulness.
It says, so you should be appreciative of being a leader. Read on.
Towards him go as far beyond.
It says, ye in thankfulness towards him go as far beyond what?
All others.
He says, because you do have a position of leadership, whether you're a parent, a mother or a father, a grandfather, grandmother, whatever, an uncle or auntie. He says it's your job to go above and beyond what?
Others.
Others.
In thankfulness.
In thankfulness, but also in dignity. Wow. and honor. You got to hold yourself accountable. The minute you have children, you have to hold yourself accountable. And that accountability starts, like he says in 1 Timothy. Who had 1 Timothy?
I did.
Read that in verse 2.
Come.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 2 reads, a bishop then must be blameless.
He said he got to be what?
Blameless.
And what you got on that definition, Kariah?
Without fault. Innocent.
Innocent. What else? Without fault. What else?
It says innocent. Guiltless.
Guiltless. What else?
Not meriting censure.
Okay, so guiltless, innocent, without fault. Read on, Dariad.
It says, so are ye in thankfulness towards him, go as far beyond all others. A mote.
He says a what?
A mote.
A mote is a speck. It's a very small thing. It's like a particle of sand. It's like a speck of dust. He said a mote, which is a very small particle. He said a mote, read.
In another's eye.
He says a mote, meaning you could do something that somebody else does, and it's very small when they do it.
Yeah.
Read on.
Is a beam.
Is a beam, which is a tree trunk. It's a telephone pole. He said, but if you do that which is little, what other people may be able to get away with, he says when you do it, it's like a what?
It's a beam.
So he's showing you mistakes have a different weight.
Into yours.
He's showing you mistakes don't weigh the same when you're a leader. The class is called a pocket manual for gaining a leadership position. That means as a leader, your faults weigh more than the next person's faults. Your mistakes weigh more and cost more than the next person's mistakes. You think I can do the same thing that these other people do, not when you're a leader. When you're a leader, it costs more. Every single error you make costs more. Every single mistake you make costs more. Every foolish decision you make costs more. Whatever you do in error, it weighs more than the next person. That's why it's important to be blameless. Because it's not weighed the same. Mistakes aren't weighed the same. And if you don't understand this as a leader, you're going to set the wrong tone. You don't have the liberty to get loose and to be free as other people. You don't have the liberty. Yes, sir.
So you can't just have a standard, you have to have a standard of excellence.
Yeah, it has to excel everybody else's. That's why it says you got to go above all others. That means how I hold myself accountable it far outweighs what I expect from other people. If you're going to be a good leader, this is what King James is telling his son. Your errors don't weigh the same as somebody else's errors. Your mistakes are bigger, way larger than somebody else's mistakes of a lower ranking person. What they can get away with is not what you can get away with. Yes, sir.
No, I was going to say it also kills the idea of, well, if he did it, then I can do it too.
Yeah, not if you're a leader.
You can't do that.
You can't do that, bro. You can't do that if you're a leader. If you're an officer, if you're a soldier, especially if you're in our camp, listen, man, it's going to be some heat, bro. You know why? Because the expectation, and we know the same thing is expected in Houston, the same thing is expected in Norfolk, Virginia, the same thing is expected in Rochester, that if you're going to sit in a position where you have a patch and you have some authority over men, then you got to be qualified. Being qualified is you got to check yourself and hold yourself accountable for everything. You don't get to cut loose like everybody else. You don't get to cut a fool, act a fool. When you're a child of an Israelite family, you don't get to cut loose like you think. You don't get to be like the kids in the world. Because the Most High is holding that household to a higher standard. When you're the wife of an Israelite man, you don't get to do what worldly women get to do. You don't get to dress like worldly women get to dress. When you're the sons and daughters of Israelite men, there's a higher standard. You don't get to behave like you want to behave. You don't get to talk like how you want to talk. There's a responsibility that comes with positions of leadership. And if you make a mistake, that mistake is heavier than you ever expected. He said, what somebody may do that's a small thing, When you do it, that's a beam. He said that's a beam. Why is it a beam? Why is it a beam when I do it? You got to go to Luke chapter 12 to answer that. Why is it a beam? Why is it a telephone pole when I do something, but it's a speck of dirt when other people get away with sin or errors or make mistakes? Why is it so small for them, but it's magnified when it comes to me? You got to go to Luke chapter 12. Read verse 47.
Luke chapter 12.
Read verse 48 first. We'll come back to 47.
Luke chapter 12, verse 48. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes.
That ain't the focus right now. We'll come back to that. Read on. This the point right here. Read.
For unto whomsoever much is given.
Why does the Most High hold us to a higher standard?
Give them more.
Because whoever much is given,
Does he give us more?
you receive more.
You know why you can't act a fool in this world and think it's okay because other people act a fool? Because you know more. Because the Most High has invested into you more. The Most High has shown you more love. The Most High has given you more instruction. The Most High has shared His wisdom with you. You've been explained things in life where other people may have no knowledge of. You've been given more attention.
More examples.
More examples. You've been given more reasons why to behave a certain way.
Okay.
And you know the consequences of not doing so. So, read that second part again.
For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required.
That's why you can't get away with small things. That's why when you do a little something that you think, well, shit, the world is doing it. Well, I don't see the big deal. So what? I don't see why is it? It's just cigarettes. It's just drink. Everybody get drunk every once in a while. Everybody smoke a little something. Everybody got a vice. Everybody has a vice. Well, yeah, everybody does have a vice. But everybody's vice don't cost the same. Not when you should know better. See what the Most High is doing? Write this down. Accountability is proportioned to knowledge. Write that down. Accountability is proportioned to knowledge.
That's true.
Accountability is proportioned to knowledge. That means you're more accountable when you have more knowledge. When you've been given more instruction, you can't be like everybody else and think it's okay, it's just a small thing. It ain't a small thing. It's not a small thing in comparison to what you understand of the Lord versus what they understand of the Lord. They don't really know the Most High's expectation. They don't know the Most High's will. They don't have His instruction. They don't have His knowledge and His laws and His statutes. They don't have discipline and instruction like you do. You've had the Bible explained to you in depth. You've had right from wrong explained to you in depth. So, yeah, if they want to cut a fool, then let the people in the world cut a fool. You just can't cut a fool. You just can't be reckless. You just can't be disrespectful. You just can't sin and think it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's not that bad. Calm down. Calm down. No, ain't no calm down. I don't see what the big deal is. Ain't no I don't see what the big deal is. It is a big deal. Everything you do is a big deal. Because of what you understand. There's no such thing as that's minor. That's minor. That's just minor. He tripping. You tripping.
Everything's major when
you're blowing it out of proportion. It's just minor. It ain't minor. What you mean it's minor? How much investment has the Most High put into you? That's why it ain't minor. Is that hard to understand? Mm-hmm. It's not hard to understand. The more you know, the more you're responsible for. So guess what? The Most High raised the bar. Every time He instructs you and give you new instruction, the bar goes higher and higher. Every class you get, the bar goes up. Every time you read the Bible, the bar goes up. Every time somebody explains something to you, the bar goes up. Every time you get counsel, the bar goes up. Every time. Every time you do your homework, the bar goes up. You don't get to do what you want to do. You're more accountable and responsible to doing that which the Most High is expecting from you, especially in a leadership position. Nothing small. As much we like to microsize sin. We like to microsize and downsize mistakes. That's just a little this. It's just once in a while. It's not all the time. It's not every day. I don't do it every day. It's not every day. So what if it's not every day? It's not every day. I don't see what you're tripping on. When's the last time I did it? Let me ask you that. When the last time I did it? You can't even remember, can you? You need to go ahead and let it go. You need to go ahead and just cut this conversation because it's been a long time. Give me the last time that happened. When the last time I did that? You don't remember, do you? Because it's been that long. Yes, sir. She had your hand up.
What would you say is a leadership position for someone like my daughter and the young adults that aren't parents? What are the leadership roles that they can start? Like leadership over their education, over their well-being, leadership over, like how can they implement that?
Well, first of all, the best leaders are the best followers. So the best thing for them to do is follow people that are good examples to follow. They need to mold themselves and model themselves after good examples. I wouldn't recommend a child being in a leadership position unless they know how to follow. Now, there are certain awards that schools gives out that, like, there's empathy awards, there's counselor assistants, there's students that sit in between counselors and the students. There's
Class representatives.
like class representatives. I forgot what they were called during my time.
Mediators?
Not necessarily mediators. They were like assistant counselors, or they helped the counselors. Teacher aides. They were teacher aides. They helped the counselors and kind of explain things. They were that bridge between the teachers and the students. You know, and they kind of sat in that position like a mediator.
Like when you have an elective and
Right.
be a teacher's aide and a counselor or principal or
Right.
deans.
They were chartered. Their little charters
Give them
programs.
responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot the name of it, but there's things that there's charity events that they could run. There's the Glee Club. I think it was the Glee Club. Glee Club. I think it was. Where they could operate charities. They could do fundraisers. They could do things that help the community. They could emphasize things in the community. Do volunteer work. There's a lot of volunteer work the kids can do. They can be chaperones. They could be there's big brothers, big sister programs. There's programs where you could read to the lower schools, where you could read books. Like the third graders read books to the first graders, or the fifth grade reads books to the second graders. There's all the kind of things that get involved where miniature versions of leadership are in place. You know, so I would recommend that. Yes, sir.
Even when you look at among your friend groups, a lot of us have friend groups. A lot of us are quote unquote leaders or respected individuals among friend groups. You could also be that individual that is the positive influence. You can't get away from negativity. You're in public school, you're in schools in general. It's impossible to completely avoid being around individuals that are negative influence. But you can be the positive influence, and everybody knows, hey, that person doesn't grow like that, or that person's the mom of the group. That person's the big brother of the group. That person's always pushing everyone to go in the right direction.
Yep.
That's something that I was always very privy to. I like to surround myself around those individuals when I was in high school. Like, I want to be around people that have good morals and not trying to get anything crazy. And if they were the wild ones, I was the most centered one of all of them. And you know what? At the very least, Elisha, he's not into that stuff, so we're not going to get into that either. That's a small influence that transitions to adulthood as well.
Yeah. So shout out to my son. I'm gonna take my hat off today just for him, because he's 10 years old and he carries his Bible to school every day.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And he told me he wants to start a Bible study in his school. I don't know if they're gonna do that. I don't know those school rules, but I gotta tip my hat to him for doing that. I didn't tell him to do that. That wasn't by command or order. That's just by his own will. So he takes his Bible to school every day, and he does these little things where he's trying to implement some type of Bible study amongst the other 10-year-olds. So you can create. Then that's my point. Is my point is you can create whatever it is that you want to do that could be an inspiration, or put yourself in a position where you're trying to mold other people or be a positive influence to other people.
Yeah.
Or they have religious study groups at school sometimes, depending on what kind of school you go to.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, they got programs where you can do. I don't know what school, but there's different charter schools. There's different Catholic schools. They kind of want you to have different prayer groups. It don't got to be a school shooting to have a prayer group and you know what I'm saying, to have people come and do some prayers. That's the only time you really see people coming out, when there's a drastic calamity. Then everybody wants to pray and do vigils, and we need your prayers right now. You can do that in advance, you know. Now, also, I will say this too: the Ten Commandments. I don't know if this is nationwide. I don't know if this is it nationwide. I just know it's in Texas. All praise to the Most High. The Ten Commandments is in every classroom in my kids' school.
We've been there.
Every classroom got the Ten Commandments on the wall, and that's new legislation.
That's awesome.
And I'm all for it. So all praise to the Most High for that. So hopefully the rest of the states can adopt that method. But just to give you an idea. But the point we're getting back to is we don't get the liberty to make small mistakes. Why is it cold? Just put on 72 then. You notice that's only 1 degree. That's only one degrees warmer. Enjoy that 1 degree.
Mercy.
Don't say I ain't do nothing. No, but the point is, our mistakes are not measured the same as people in the world. Now, when you step into a leadership position, you don't have the luxury of just being stupid and frivolous and thinking that everything's a joke or everything's small or what's the big deal. I don't see the problem. And that shouldn't even come out your mouth.
That's fine.
Because you know more than everybody else. That's why you're held to a higher standard. So read that again in Luke chapter 12. That last part. Nagaha.
Luke chapter 12, verse 48. For unto whomsoever much is given.
So when the Most High has put more into you, and you got more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, guess what? The accountability measure goes up. You don't get to say things and do things that you think are mild or small, or I don't see the big deal. No, it is. Everything's a big deal. Everything's a big deal. Because I told brothers to write down, or the class to write down, accountability is proportion to knowledge. It's proportion to knowledge. Mm-hmm. So you're responsible based upon what you know and what you understand. You're held responsible. So the more you've been around, the longer you've been around, guess what? The Most High's expectation is high. The bar is super high. If you've been given instruction and methodology and counseling, then you can't say nobody told me. You can't say I didn't know. Oh hell no! Yes, you did know. Absolutely, you know. You know right from wrong, and you should be dealt with based upon you knowing right from wrong. And that's how the Most High deals with us. That's why everything that King James is telling his son is spot on. A mote in this person's eye is a beam in yours. You don't get to get away with little things. Little things are magnified when it comes to your position. Read.
For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required.
So whose writing is this? Who wrote this? Christ wrote this. This is coming straight out of Christ's mouth. This is coming straight out of his mouth. Read.
And to whom men have committed much.
And guess what? And to whom men have committed much. If you've been committed to a position of a soldier, if you've been committed to a position of an officer of 50, or an officer of 100, or officer of 500, 1,000, if you've been given these ranks, then guess what?
Of him, they will ask the more.
Then guess what? Then you should be able to deliver more. You should be more flexible. That means you should be more flexible when it comes to doing more, because you've been given more. It shouldn't be a problem to say, hey, I need you to go over here and do this. I need you to take over that responsibility. I need you to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. I need you to make a phone call. I need you to make a phone call and report that this got taken care of. Well, based upon how much you've been given, you should be able to be that much more flexible. It shouldn't be, well, I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if that's possible. I ain't built for that yet. Well, you know what the Most High is doing? If you're not built for it, He's not demanding much from you either. But when you've been built up, the Most High demands more. All that, this is the excuse that we come up with. I don't see the problem. I don't see what the big deal is. I don't know why you're taking this so serious. I don't know why this is such a big problem, a big deal. Everything's a big deal. Everything's a big deal. When you're a leader, everything's a big deal. You can't minimize nothing. And he's going to explain. Hold that right there. You can just have a seat. Finish reading this right here.
It says,
Hold on. Why is everything a big deal? We're gonna skip. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna read something else real quick. Read this right here.
page 155. It is a true old saying.
He said, King James said, he's telling his son, this is a true old saying. Read on.
That a king is as one set on a stage.
He says, why is everything such a big deal? He said, because this is a true old saying. When you're in a position of a leader, it's like you're on what?
On a stage.
What does that mean?
All eyes on you.
You being watched. But what are they watching for?
Your performance.
They're watching your mistakes.
Wow.
They're watching your flaws.
Exactly.
Your example. That's like what it means to. They looking to see what you do wrong, so they can say, "Well, I can do it too." Then, well, I watch you do that, so why you tripping on me?
Yeah.
I want the same liberty you got. I want the same liberty you got. I want the same opportunity you have. Children do this with their parents all day long. Your money is my money. I'm just joking. He said this is a true old saying. What?
That a king is as one set on a stage.
Go ahead.
Whose smallest actions.
He says whose smallest action. Go ahead.
And gestures.
The small gestures, small actions is being put under a microscope. It's under a microscope by everybody around you. Everybody's seeing what you're doing. Everybody is taking assessment and judgment on your actions. You're an elder man or even a young man coming up. You got a rank. Men are checking you out. This is why we tell men while we're on the job, don't think because nobody's around you that nobody's watching us. This is why we constantly reminding men about their behavior on the job. You want to slap box and shadow box, you can't do that on the job over here. You can shadow box in the backyard somewhere. You can shadow box in a gym somewhere. In the boxing gym. You're not finna shadow box and slap box on this job. You're not finna bring that behavior over here. You know why? Because everybody's watching. Everybody's paying attention. Even when you don't think nobody's watching, somebody's watching. And the higher you go up in position, the more eyeballs are on you. The more people are looking at, look at this hypocrisy right here. Look at this hypocrite. I know he got the nerve. He ain't got the nerve. He got some nerve to tell me to clean up. He don't even clean up. He got some nerve. Tell me to wash the dishes. He don't even wash the dishes. He don't even put his own underwear up in the dirty car. His underwear still sitting on the bathroom floor. Got some nerve. But he says like you on the stage. Read on.
Whose smallest actions and gestures, all the people gazingly.
He said all the people do what?
Gazingly.
Everything you do is under a microscope. The minute you become a parent, the minute you become a mom, the minute you become a father, the minute you become an uncle or whatever, so on and so forth. Everything's on stage. He says everything gazingly, go ahead.
They gazingly do behold.
Go ahead.
And therefore, though a king be never so precise.
He says, and you're not going to be perfect. No leader is perfect. No leader is perfect. Every leader got flaws. Every leader, there's no perfect parents, man. Parents usually are learning as they go. Read.
In the discharging of his office, the people who seeth but the outward part.
He says, what do people see?
Who seeth but the outward part.
Can people see your intentions? No. No, they can't. You know, they watch you, but they can't read your intentions. But they're looking at your actions. Your actions is a teacher. What you do is teaching them. They're learning by what you do. Your behavior is what they're learning from. They don't know that you might mean well. They don't know that you actually love them. They only can go off what they see. He says they only go off what?
The outward part will ever judge of the substance by the circumstances
He says the outward part will ever judge by the substance of the what?
of the circumstances.
So our people don't look at your intention. Our people look at situations. They look at circumstances. How did you behave when this happened? So because I saw you behave a certain way in this situation, then I think that I have the same liberty to behave that way in that situation because I got it from you. Because all I did was mimic myself after you. All I did was see what you did, and I see how you deal with people, and I deal with people the same way. I got it from you. He's saying this, he's telling his son, this is how people going to perceive his position.
Right.
They're gonna model themselves after your behavior. And that's how they're learning. And that's why it says it's like being on a stage. Read.
And according to the outward appearance.
It says, and they look at the what?
Outward appearance.
People can't see intentions. That's why your behavior got to be right. Read on.
If his behavior be light.
It says, if your behavior be what?
Light.
Meaning foolish. If your behavior is not so serious, read.
Or dissolute.
Or is erroneous. It's without wisdom. It's some folly. If you got folly intermingled in your behavior, read on.
Will conceive preoccupied conceits.
It says it will conceive preoccupied conceits, meaning you will draw to you people that got the wrong impersonation of you. People will adopt the wrong impersonation of you easily. That's how people learn. They're going off what they see. You're feeding them with preconceived notions. You're giving them the ammunition to think about you a certain way, because they're watching you. You teaching them as you go. People don't really know that. You got to know that as a leader. People watching everything you do. They're watching every scenario. They're listening to every conversation. They're watching your mannerisms. They're watching your folly. Whatever. They people watch. Yes, sir. Yeah, we got it. So, what he's saying is, you have to understand the scrutiny that you're going to be under as a leader. Read on.
Will conceive preoccupied conceits of the king's inward intention.
It says, and they can't see your intentions on the inside. All they see is what you do on the outside. That don't mean that means that you make sure that you align your intentions with your outward behavior. That your outward behavior has to reflect how you feel and how you think on the inside. Because if it doesn't, people are going to take you the wrong way. And then they're going to call you a hypocrite. They're going to call you a fake. They're going to call you a phony. They're going to call you a fraud. And they ain't going to want to deal with you. They ain't going to want to follow you. Because they're looking at you. They're watching you. That's why in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2, it says what?
It says, a bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober.
It says a bishop must be what?
Blameless.
So, give me this, finish this, David. Finish that part right there. Go jump down, just jump down, get to the bottom of that.
It says, be careful then.
He said what?
Be careful then.
What is he telling his son?
Be careful.
He said, be careful then. Read.
My son.
Why?
So to frame all your indifferent actions.
He says, son, because when you get into the position of a leader, he says you have to frame all the indifferent actions, meaning things that you may not take as serious. That's what he's saying. Things that are not necessarily laws. You're not necessarily breaking laws, but things that you may not think are as serious. There's some things that you're going to do that may not be as serious. It's not necessarily you're breaking laws, but it everything matters. Everything matters. Read.
So to frame all your indifferent actions and outward behavior
And outward behavior. Read on.
as they may serve for the furtherance and forthsetting of your inward virtuous disposition.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Did you say it again?
Read it one more time. Read it quick.
Be careful then, my son, so as to frame all your indifferent actions and outward behavior as they may serve for the furtherance and forthsetting of your inward virtuous disposition.
Have you actually match your intention?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. That let your actions match your intentions. So if you say you love somebody, then your actions should show them that. Because they won't know it unless you show them that. You just can't tell somebody that and they say, well, I told you I love you. And then you go off thinking that they believe you. They're not going to believe you. People don't believe you because you say something.
Right.
So he's saying the best way to convince people is to show them and be a demonstration of what it is that your intention is.
Right.
And if you don't align your intentions with your behavior, people will look at you and say, man, this don't look right. Something don't look right. You telling me one thing, but I'm watching you do this. You're a fraud. You're phony. Okay. Oh, you say you love me, right? Oh, okay. Okay. Heard that one before. But you ain't showing me nothing. You say you forgive me. Okay. You ain't showing me nothing. You say you care. Well, but you're not showing me. You know what people do? People can't judge your intentions. As a leader, you got to know that there's going to be a void and a disconnect between how people read you. They're always going to read you wrong. Always. They're always going to read you wrong. Yes, sir.
I mean, well, what if they're doing something obvious in that direction? I mean,
It's obvious,
I
but does that mean it's true? Is the intention true?
well, I mean,
We don't know, do we? That's why it's important that the intentions match the actions. That's why it's very important, because it throws people for a loop. People are less likely to believe the good in what you're trying to do. Romans chapter 14, verse 16. We read it earlier. What does it say?
Romans chapter 14, verse 16.
Read that.
God, it says, let not then your good be evil spoken of.
Why do people take your good and speak evil of your good? Can you control it? You can't control it, but you can be as blameless as possible. You can't control people misreading you. But what you can control is giving them ammunition to misread you. What you can control is your performance, so they don't misread you the wrong way, so they don't misalign your intentions. So you can't control how other people view you, but don't feed them with ammunition to doubt you or to look like you don't mean well or you're not trying to do them good. So that's the trouble right there. That's the difficulty of what it means to stand in a position where you're on a stage and everybody's judging your performance. And they're giving you rotten tomatoes and they're giving you, that performance was a 5. I'll give him a 5 out of 10 stars. Or that was horrible. His display, his ability on stage is horrible. He's a horrible person. How do you know I'm a horrible person? I could just tell you're a horrible person. Okay. It's a horrible person. Okay. That's why it's so important. That's why we harping on this point of why it's important to be blameless. Back to this right here, and then we're going to jump back into some scriptures. Finish this point. He says a mote. Finish that point right there.
Yeah. A mote in another's eye.
Somebody else give me Ecclesiastes 15 and 20. Ecclesiastes chapter 15, verse 20. Read that. Continue, W.
A mote in another's eye is as a beam into yours.
You don't get away with things that other people get away with. When other people do things that are small, when you're in a leadership position, it's huge. It's a big deal. It's a problem. Read on.
A blemish in another.
He says a blemish or a fault that other people do, you can't get away with. He says a blemish, go ahead.
In another.
Go ahead.
Is a leprous bile.
It says is a leprous bile. It's a leprous sickness. It's a leprous disease. Mm-hmm. So he's saying the magnitude of what you do when you know more and you know better far outweighs what other people do when they do the same thing. They can do the same exact thing that you do, but they don't have your knowledge. They don't have your understanding. They don't have the Most High's wisdom imparted into them. So they can get away with it. You can't. Other people could dress a certain way and get away with it. You can't. People can talk. Other people can talk a certain way and get away with it. You can't. If we understand what the Most High is saying in Timothy and also in what King James is telling his son. Read on.
Is a leprous bile into you, and a venial sin, as the Papists call it. In another is a great crime unto you.
It says
in another is a great crime.
A venial sin is a small sin. He says a small sin in somebody else is not a small sin in a leadership position. He says a venial sin or a small sin is with somebody else is a great sin to you. Every mistake costs more when you're in a leadership position. Every last one of them. Read.
Think not, therefore, that the highness of your dignity.
He says, don't think that because you're in charge or you're a parent or you're the final boss of the household. He says, don't think that the highness of your dignity, read on,
diminisheth your faults.
It says, should diminish your mistakes. I don't see what the big deal is. You know what? Look at where I've come from. Look at how I've grown. Look at how I've changed. Why don't you look at my good track record and look at the things that I've done right? So, because all the things that I've done right and I've changed, and look at all these skill sets that I possess, that it's going to diminish what you do wrong. The Most High ain't looking at mistakes like that. Remember how the Most High is looking at mistakes. The more that you've been given, the more the Most High requires. As much is given, as much more required. The Most High demands accountability based on your knowledge. Read on.
Much less giveth you a license to sin.
And it said, you don't have a license to what?
To sin.
Now give me that in Ecclesiastes 18 and 15. I mean, 15 and 20.
15 and 20. Ecclesiastes 15 and 20. He has commanded no man to do wickedly.
And so does it, because you're in a high position, can you do wickedly? Because you're in a high position, should your mistakes be wiped away because you're in a high position? Or easily dismissed in a high position? It's actually the opposite. It's actually the opposite.
Says what?
Yeah. It says, we'll get to that too. But he said, he gave no man what?
He has commanded no man to do wickedly.
Go ahead.
Neither hath he given any man to license to sin.
Because you're in a higher position, you get a pass? Should you get a pass because you're in a higher position?
Nope.
What does he say? What did King James say?
But by the contrary.
He said, but by the contrary, meaning it's the opposite way that man don't understand of what the Most High expects from them. It's the opposite. When you got rank and you got authority, you got some position, or you got knowledge, and you've been invested into, And you've been taught and you've been trained. Read.
Your fault shall be aggravated.
He says, your fault shall be what?
Aggravated.
Go ahead.
According to the height of your dignity.
It says, so the fault shall be magnified and increased based upon the position that you're in. So the more you know, the more you should be punished for what you know. The more you should be stung for what you know. The more you should be corrected for what you know. Because you can't play the innocent butterfly. You're not this innocent butterfly that I just made a mere mistake. It was such a small mistake. It was a mere mistake. Ain't no mere mistakes. I don't see what the big deal is. Yeah, you should. Because you're not this innocent little butterfly that just walking through, making mistakes, and oops, I did that again. Oops, sorry. Oops, silly me. No, hell no. No, you need to be stung for that. You need to be spanked for that. You need to be dealt with for that because you know better. Because that's how the Most High qualifies leadership. The more you know, the more you're responsible for. And that's the way it should be. And that's the way it is. And the Most High will hold you to your position. He will hold you to your position. Finish that?
It says, and any sin that you commit, not being a single sin.
He says, what we do, we think it's a single sin. It didn't affect nobody. It didn't affect nobody. I don't understand. It didn't hurt a whole bunch of people. I only did it to me. If anything goes wrong, I'm the only one that'll suffer for it. If anything goes wrong, just by chance, if anything happens, I'm the only one because of this decision that it'll affect. Is that true? When you're a leader? No, that's not true. Anything you do wrong is not a single sin. Give me that in Ecclesiastes. Hold that down. Give me that Ecclesiastes 18 and 15. Another brother.
Oh, 18.
Yes, sir.
I got you.
Read that.
I'm gonna read that. 18 and 15, Ecclesiastes.
Read
My
it.
son,
He said, my son, what?
blemish not thy good deeds.
He says, can you blemish your good deeds? Is it okay to put any stain on your good deeds?
No.
Is any mistake just a small mistake? He says, that's why it's important to be blameless. If you are sitting in any kind of authority position, any position of authority, you have to understand what that comes with and what that means. He says you don't do anything that blemishes what?
Not thy good deeds.
He says you don't do anything that blemishes your deeds, your actions. You never walk contrary to your intentions. Your actions and your behavior should never be contrary to your intentions, especially if your intentions are good. There's no such thing as minor mistakes. All mistakes are huge when you're in a leadership position. All mistakes are magnified when you're a parent. None of it should be just a slap on the wrist. Read this down yet? You need to make a move. Okay, it says, read it. It says, any sin that you commit, not being a what?
Not being a single sin.
Read.
Procuring but the fall of one.
It says it don't affect just you. Don't think if you're a leader or a parent that your mistake is only going to affect you. That's not true. Read.
But being an exemplar sin.
It says every sin in a leadership position is an exemplar sin. What does that mean? Get that definition. What is an exemplar? EXAMPLE or PLAR. Yeah. Exemplar. Get the definition. He said every sin as a leader is not is not a single sin where nobody else is affected. He says every sin as a leader is an exemplar sin. What does that mean?
Exemplar. Point number one. A model.
He says every sin you make is a what?
Model.
It says you're creating a pattern. You're creating a mold. He says a model. What else?
Original or pattern.
It says it's a pattern that you created, that you're creating. Every mistake is a pattern. For what? Read on.
To be copied.
It said, whoa. It's a pattern that's going to be what?
To be copied.
So if I make a mistake as a leader,
It's going to be copied.
every mistake I make, I just made a photocopy of it. Multiple photocopies of it. And guess what? It's gonna happen. Everybody's gonna imitate that action. Everybody's gonna imitate that mistake. Everybody's gonna duplicate that error. The minute I put a cigarette in my mouth as a parent, guess what I did to all my children in the house? I just made a copy on all their minds that this is okay. I just implanted and impressed upon a copy of that this is fine. That this is okay, this behavior is okay. I just photocopied that in their mind. This is okay. Every time they see me doing something illicit, unlawful, I just put a copy in their brain. Every time they hear me talking disrespectful and out of order, I just made a copy. You're making copies. That's what you're doing when you're a leader. You're making copies for what? What copies for what purpose, my Waller?
To be copied.
A pattern to be what?
To be copied or imitated.
I'm making a copy to be a pattern to be copied or imitated. Every mistake will not just stop at me when you're a leader. Everything you do wrong, man, you just multiply those sins times however many people are witnessing you. You just multiply those sins by however many people are under you. You just multiply those sins to everybody in the house.
Yeah.
I just set the wrong example to everybody in the house. There's no such thing as, oops, I'm sorry. My bad. That has to be out of your system. So do we understand the severity of every mistake? He said every mistake is an exemplar sin, meaning it's a copy, it's a pattern to be imitated. Give me yeah, that's fine. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12.
1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth.
He says, let no man what?
Despise thy youth.
He said, let no man despise thy youth. Read on.
But be thou an example of
He
the
says,
believers.
you got to be a what?
Be thou an example.
So he says, we're supposed to be examples what?
Example of the believers.
Of people that believe in the Bible. Anything else, any other copy that I'm duplicating is wrong. Anything that I'm doing in action or in deed, I'm setting the wrong tone. I'm teaching the wrong lessons. Everything that I'm doing, all of my performance is for the purpose of making other people believe. I'm trying to gather the sheep of the Most High's flock, not scatter them, and not teach them bad examples and teach them bad lessons. So you're held at a higher regard and a higher accountability when you step into any leadership position. Your pattern has to be that of believers. I'm trying to make people believers. I want people to see me, and I want them to believe like I believe. Didn't Paul say that in 1 Corinthians 11 and 1? Read that in 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. What did Paul say in 1 Corinthians 11 and 1?
1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I am of Christ.
So what did Paul say?
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
So everything that I do, I want you to duplicate. Because I'm following after Christ. So I want you to imitate my actions. So I want you to follow after Christ. You know what the Most High cares about? He cares about his flock. And he cares about the impression that you put on them. He cares about the example that you put in front of them. It's very important. And if you put the wrong example in front of them, you will be stung. You will be reproved based upon your knowledge. Based upon what you understand. Setting the right example is very important as a leader. Setting the right tone. Don't get mad because the children don't act right, but I've been setting the wrong example their whole life. I've been setting the wrong tone. Now I'm mad because they don't listen. Now I'm mad because they deviate. What tone, what example have I been setting? That's why leadership is very important. Accountability is very important. Read on.
Come, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
Let that go and go to First Peter chapter 2, verse 15. So what is the best position to put yourself in when you hold any type of leadership position? How must you conduct yourself? What does the Most High want from us in any kind of leadership position? Go to 1 Peter 2 and 15.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 15 reads, "For so is the will of the Most High."
So let's talk about the will of God. What is the will of God? What is the Most High's will? What does the Most High want from us? What is Yahweh's will? Read.
That with well-doing.
No, misbehaving.
That with well-doing.
Talking crazy.
That with well-doing.
Doing what I want to do.
That with well-doing.
Don't take it the wrong way.
That with well-doing.
Hey, give me a pass. Let this slide.
That with well-doing.
I don't see why you're taking this out, why you're blowing this out of proportion.
That with well-doing.
I only made one mistake this week.
That with well-doing.
Who's counting?
That with well-doing.
What's the will of the Most High?
Ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men.
How? How do you put to silence the ignorance of foolish men?
Well-doing.
With well-doing. Behaving properly is the best example that you can put in front of an ignorant world. Appropriate behavior. Appropriate conduct is the best behavior you can put into a foolish world. And that is the will of the Most High. That's His desire. That your conduct, you possess a particular conduct and a standard of living that excels the rest of the world, so that they can see you as an example and imitate your example. You're not supposed to be a proponent of foolishness. They got to see you. The people got to see you acting right, behaving right. Your kids got to see you behaving right and acting right. That is the will of the Most High. So being blameless is not just a leadership responsibility. That's everybody's responsibility. That's the Most High's will. So, the purpose of being blameless, let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9.
2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9. Wherefore we labor.
He said, this is what we're working for. What are we working for? He said, therefore we labor. What are we laboring for? Why are we working so hard? What should we be working hard to do and for? Read.
Wherefore we labor, that, whether present or absent, we may be accepted of Him.
It says, so no matter where we are, whether we're around the body or whether we're by ourselves and nobody's watching us, so he says, so no matter where you are on the earth, whether you're in front of people or you're by yourself or you're in front of a congregation or you're at work or you're isolated or you're on a job or you operating as an individual where people may not know you, it doesn't matter. He says all of our behavior has to be performed with what purpose?
We may be accepted of Him.
So does that mean only when I'm in the camp? Does that mean only when I'm in class? Does that mean when I'm at home, I do what the hell I want to do at home?
We may be accepted of Him.
No, that means you don't get to do what you want to do at home. That means every action that we have and we perform has to be done with the idea that I want the Most High to accept me. Don't mean because I'm not around the body and nobody sees me, I get a get out of jail card. I get to do what the hell I want to do card. I get a little slap on the wrist saying, what I do is not so bad because I'm at home, I ain't hurt nobody, I'm by myself. There's no such thing. There's no such thing because you're out of sight, you're out of mind. There ain't no such thing with the Most High. Ain't nobody around me to check me. Ain't nobody around to tell me that I'm wrong. I don't see what's wrong with what I'm doing. I don't see what's wrong with what I'm saying. Don't you know that everything you do, you're supposed to be doing it with the idea that I want to be accepted by the Most High? So that means that it doesn't matter who's around me. It doesn't matter who I'm around. I could be around a whole bunch of unbelievers. I could be the only believer in a job full of unbelievers. But guess where my mind is at? Guess where my mind is while I'm around this whole job? Do I talk like the unbelievers? Do I joke like the unbelievers? Do I sin like the unbelievers? I could be around a whole body of unbelievers, but my mind is on the fact that no matter where I am, I want to be accepted by the Most High. So if they're having this conversation, I'm not having this conversation. If they're doing these negative deeds, I'm taking no part of these negative deeds. If they're behaving a certain way, I want nothing to do with that. If they're dressing a certain way, I don't care about what the world wears. I want to be accepted by the Most High. I don't give a damn about being accepted by friends and peer pressure. That's irrelevant to me. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. No, not true. Not so. When you know the truth, you do the truth no matter where you are. You be an example of the truth no matter where you are. People forget that. Men forget that and women forget that. They think the location gives them a pass to behave a certain way. They believe the isolation gives them the pass to do what they want to do. And it's actually not true. It's actually not true at all. Not true at all. And if you're in a position of a leader, you really got to take your discipline with you. You got to take your accountability with you. You got to take your responsibilities with you. You got to take your morals with you. You have to take your ethics with you. You can't behave because nobody knows you're an Israelite. Okay, so what? Nobody knows you're an Israelite. Nobody knows you read the Bible. Nobody knows you study with a whole congregation. Nobody knows you belong to a church. Does that mean you get to act a fool? No. Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, like, even when I work for like the school district, they tell you be careful, like when you go to like parties, you're taking pictures with liquor or doing whatever, because when somebody hits Facebook, another peer or another child be like, oh, that's my teacher right there, and then it gets reported to the school.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Well, I like the example. I like the example.
Thing with you, even when you go home or in public or go to an outing, you have a certain.
I like what you just said, because you know what they say? They say the internet is undefeated.
So
They say the internet is undefeated. What does that mean? That means they have a machine called a Wayback Machine. Y'all hear about it? Y'all know about the Wayback Machine? Usually the internet has been scrubbed and filtered. By Wikipedia is always scrubbed and filtered. They always take certain sites and certain things after so many years, they take it off the web. Well, there's a machine called the Wayback Machine. And it's recorded all the events on the internet from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, from when the internet first came out. And if you got a Wayback Machine, you get to go pull up what this person was talking about, what they were campaigning about, what they believe in. You get to see what this lifestyle of this person was prior to them being a politician, prior to them being a senator, prior to them being in a position of leadership. You get to see this person from way back. But think about this. The Most High is the Wayback Machine. The Most High is undefeated. We don't need technology for the Most High to make you accountable. The Most High already been watching and recording everything you do. It's in so many verses. Go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. There's so many verses that explain this. Ecclesiastes in the Bible. Read that.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. For the Most High shall bring every word into judgment.
It said the Most High shall bring what?
every work into judgment.
So is there some work that the Most High missed that you did because nobody was around? No. Is there some work the Most High missed that you did because you was by yourself? No. He said every work is going to be brought into judgment. Read.
With every secret thing.
With every what?
With every secret thing.
Is there any secrets with the Most High? The Most High is the ultimate Wayback Machine. You know exactly what's going on. You know why you do what you do. That's why your behavior gotta be of such that the Most High, I have to be accepted of the Most High at all times. Everything I do is to be accepted of the Most High, whether I'm with people or by myself. I want the Most High to approve of what I'm doing. There ain't no such thing as out of sight, out of mind. I get to behave one way. When I'm with my Israelite sisters, I'm this person. When I'm not with the Israelite sisters, I'm this person. When I'm around the Israelite men, I'm this person. When I'm not around the camp, I'm this person. No, man, you tripping. Tripping. Everything at all times should be done as if the Most High is watching, because He is. Read.
Whether it be good or whether it be evil.
It said whether it be what?
Whether it be good or whether it be evil.
That's a class in itself. That's a whole class in itself. There's no getaway, get out of jail. I got a pass because nobody knew what the hell I was doing or saying. There's no such thing. The Most High know everything you're doing, secretly or out in public, whether it's good or evil. There's too many scriptures to explain this. That's not the point. The point is that if I'm gonna be a leader, I better be held to a higher standard. I better hold myself to a higher standard. And that standard is to be like Christ. That standard is to be accepted of the Most High. Now read that one more time. Nagaha, let that go. Nagaha, finish that. Read that one more time. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9.
2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9.
Next brother, again, Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 3.
Wherefore we labor.
It said, wherefore we what?
Wherefore we labor.
It says, this is what we're working for. This is why we're working and doing what we're doing. Read.
That whether present.
It said, whether present, whether I'm with people, read.
Or absent.
Or I'm by myself, read on, or I'm out and about, read on.
We may be accepted of Him.
It said that we may be accepted of Him. Everything you do, everything you say, all your conduct is supposed to be qualified by, is this right in the eyes of the Lord or not? Is this conversation right in the eyes of the Lord or not? Is this action right in the eyes of the Lord or not? Is my behavior right now in the eyes of the Most High or not? Ecclesiastes 10 and 3.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people.
He said an unwise leader does what?
Destroyeth his people.
So if I'm not conscious of my behavior, if I'm not conscious of my speech, what will happen to the people? I destroy them. Or we could say an unwise parent does what?
Destroy the children.
Destroy the children. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They're only going to be versions of what I put in front of them. And to prove it, read verse 2.
Verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
Read that again.
As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
What does that mean? Somebody explain that.
The example of the judge, or the leader, the officers, the men that follow will represent the same characteristics.
They will adopt the same characteristics of this person. They will imitate the same characteristics of this person.
It's even why it says in, I think it's Ecclesiastes 11, it says, judge no man before his death, for man shall be known as children. It's the same concept.
What are you going to see in his kids?
The same weaknesses, the same strengths, the same patterns, or very similar at least.
Yeah. So what he's saying is, you get to create, you're going to create, whether you know it or not, like it or not, believe it or not, you're going to create versions of yourself when you're a leader. And the people are going to be a mirror image of you. Same attributes, same fears, same doubts, Same hang-ups, same strongholds? Yes, sir.
Which is why it's always brought up in councils that if you love your people enough, you'll change.
Yep. Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Because what am I care about the impression that I have on them. I care about the influence that I have on them. Because you know people ain't listening to your words. They're not just listening to your words. People learn by your behavior. That's what they're checking the most.
Yeah.
It's just as important. They're both important. They're both important. Finish that in Ecclesiastes 18 and 15. We didn't finish it.
God.
So we already got Ecclesiastes 10 and 3, which pretty much explains that the leadership's character dictates the behavior of the people around them. We already explained that. Let's go finish that in Ecclesiastes 18 and 15.
God. Ecclesiastes 18 and 15.
And also, whoever had 1 Timothy 4 and 12, go back to 1 Timothy 4 and 12.
Ecclesiastes 18 and 15.
Read that.
My son, blemish not thy good deeds.
It said, blemish not thy good deeds. How can somebody blemish their good deeds? Go to 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12.
1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers.
So how can somebody blemish my good deeds? And by not being an example of believers. But I'm supposed to be an example, and I'm not supposed to put the wrong example in front of them that will blemish what I'm doing, that will blemish my example. And how can I blemish my example? Read on.
In word.
In what?
In word.
Is it just action?
In word.
Is it just in by behavior?
In word.
It's what I say. It's the things that I let come out of my mouth. You're also teaching people by the words you use. So it's your behavior and your word that's being on display that people are learning from to determine. They're not going to say, well, he didn't mean it that way. They're just going to do what you do. They're not even going to know what you mean when you say. Some kids don't know half the things that you mean when you say it. They'll just say it because they heard you say it. They'll use it in the wrong context, but they heard you say it. They'll duplicate what they hear. That's why it says, don't tarnish your name. Don't tarnish your good deeds, but be an example of believers. Men tarnish their good deeds because their words don't match the actions. What else?
In conversation.
What else?
In charity.
Oh, no.
Or in conversation.
Well, how can you destroy the people around you?
With your conversation.
You can destroy the people around you with your conversation. The type of things that you choose, the type of words you pick, the selection of words you choose, the manner in which you allow it to come out your mouth, the tone that it comes out your mouth, the harshness of how it comes out your mouth, it can destroy the people around you. It can blemish your good deeds. It can teach the wrong example. You can steer people in the wrong direction with your conversation. That's why you got to watch your conversation. You got to watch how you talk. Everything is monitored when you're a leader. You got to monitor everything. You got to be careful about everything you do and you say. You can destroy people with your conversation, especially if it's reckless and it's careless and there's no discretion in it and it's unseasoned and it's bitter and it's foul. You can destroy people. And those people are the Most High sheep. This is sheep. And the Most High don't play with his sheep. He don't play with people messing with his sheep. Finish that in 1 Timothy.
It said, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation.
What else?
In charity.
And also how you give yourself. You teach people in your charity as well. People are watching your charity. What else?
In spirit.
And people also watching how you conduct yourself in spirit. Spirit in the way you think. They're duplicating your thought process. They're learning from you from your thought process. They're imitating your thought process. What else?
In faith.
Also, they're learning from your what?
Your faith.
Everything is being on display. All these attributes are on display when you're a leader. Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, you're saying like you could destroy people. And if you say the wrong stuff out of your mouth too, with all these different cameras and gadgets and stuff up in people's cars where they pick up voice or whatever, you could destroy somebody else or likewise destroy yourself.
Yeah, you can ruin your own credibility. Nowadays, many people do. Many people put their foot in their mouth and they get fired from their job. ask the ones that got fired after Charlie Kirk. A whole bunch of them fighting to get trying to countersue, trying to get their job back. That wasn't fair. What about the freedom of speech? Read this. Read this right here.
Am I still holding the people?
Yeah. Finish. Let Ecclesiastes go. Read this right here. We're gonna read this. Read this right here. Basilicon Duran, page 113. Read that. But as ye are clothed.
Come. But as ye are clothed with two callings,
Go ahead.
so must ye be alike careful for the discharge of them both.
He says you got to be careful in how you discharge what you've been called to do. This is King James telling his son, Prince Henry, you've been called to be in a leadership position. You were born into a leadership role. You were born into a leadership family. He says, and you got to be careful how you discharge your office, how you conduct yourself. He says, in these two manners. Read.
That as ye are a good Christian,
He said, you got to be a good Christian. You got to be a Christian means to be Christ-like. You got to be like Christ. What else?
so ye may be a good king.
He says, and if you're going to be a good Christian, if you're going to be a good king, you got to be a good Christian. He said, if you're going to be a good king, that means you got to be Christ-like. You got to be like Christ. Read on.
Discharging your office, as I showed before, and the points of justice and equity.
He said, you got to believe in justice and equity. You got to have justice and equity. Read.
Which in two sundry ways ye must do. The one,
He says, you got to be, in order for you to deliver justice and equity, you have to become a just person and an equitable person. Read on.
the one in establishing and executing, which is the life of the law, good laws among your people.
What else?
The other by your behavior.
He said the other one is instituting and living by good laws, be an example of these good laws, and instituting good laws and order, and also by your what?
Behavior.
He said also your behavior is a teacher. Same thing we've been talking about.
God.
Your behavior is a teacher. Read.
In your own person.
It says in your own person, how you conduct yourself as a person. Read on.
And with your servants.
Go ahead.
To teach your people by your example.
He says you teach your people by what?
Your example.
Are we not saying the same thing?
God.
Did we not just read that in Ecclesiastes chapter 10? That a foolish king destroys people.
God.
Everything is about example. Everything is about a pattern that you put forth in motion. Everything is about making a copy for imitation. Because that's what you do. Every mistake you make, you made a copy when people see it. Whether you believe it or not. Read.
For people are naturally inclined.
It says people are naturally inclined. Read.
To counterfeit.
It says to counterfeit. What that word counterfeit is, that's an old English word for imitate. He says people are naturally inclined to imitate. This is King James telling his son this. They're not just listening to your word, they're going to do what you do. Read.
Like apes. Their prince's manners, according to the notable saying of Plato, expressed by the poet.
So we ain't going to read that poem.
Yeah.
But the point is, he said people are like apes. They follow what they see. They say if you kill one monkey and all the other monkeys see it, the other monkeys won't die the same way that one monkey did. They learn from watching the mistakes of other monkeys.
Monkey see, monkey do. That's where it came from.
Yeah, but monkey see, monkey do. It's true in some senses.
Yeah.
Because they learn by watching. And if they see one monkey use a stone or rock and smash some nuts, The baby monkeys will pick up a stone and try to smash the nuts. They do everything they watch their parents do. They learn by watching. And if the parents are picking fleas off one another, the kids start picking fleas. The babies start picking fleas off each other. That's how they learn. They say for the orangutan, which is one of the smartest ones of that species, they say it could take up to 3 to 5 years for the baby to mimic the parents. That means that to know what type of fruit to eat, to know what type of leaves to eat, it could take up to 5 years for the baby to learn. Because it's a long process. Because their survival depends on it. Their survival depends on knowing where water is, knowing what the weather is, what the weather's like when the weather changes, knowing what seasons, what to eat when there's no food around. So that's instinct. What King James is saying is it's people's natural instinct to imitate. So guess what that means? That means you got to be conscious of the fact that everything you do is on a stage. Every word that comes out your mouth is being copied and imitated. So how important is your example? It's crucial. Your example is crucial. It's critical. It's critical for the survival of your people. And if you set the wrong example, the Most High will remove you. But go to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 6. Let me let this go. Get this right quick. I think we read this last week, but we're just going to.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 6.
Yeah, read that 183. No, read the 184. Read that.
Ephesians 6:6. Not with eye service.
They said if you're stepping into a leadership position, you're not just doing it because people are watching you. I'm only going to behave because people are watching me. Man, you're the wrong type of leader. I'm only going to act right and talk right because somebody's around me. But I'll be myself when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
No such thing. In everything you do, in everything we do, we're supposed to be doing it with the notion that I want to be accepted by the Most High. I want the Most High to accept me. And that means that no matter where I'm at, I'm careful and I'm cautious. Read.
Not with thy service.
It said, not with eye service, just because somebody watching me.
As men pleasers.
It says, then I'm a what?
Men pleasers.
Then I become a man pleaser. If I only behave because somebody's watching me, I'm only talking right because somebody's listening, then I'm a what?
Man pleaser.
Then I'm a man pleaser. I'm not doing it for the right reasons. Read.
But as the servants of Christ.
But if I'm going to be a servant of Christ, that means I'm going to watch my speech, watch my conversation, watch my behavior all the time. Because it's not about man, it's about Christ. But it is about man. Read on.
Doing the will of God from the heart.
It says because I got to do the will of God from what?
From the heart.
That means I got to be sincere. There can't be no duplicity about it. I got to be sincere about it. I can't act one way and say another. I can't say one thing but act another way. I got to do it from the heart. It's got to be sincere. Read on.
Verse 7. With goodwill.
It says with what?
With goodwill.
And I got to do it with what?
Goodwill.
I got to have goodwill. Meaning I want to see the people grow. And if you really care about the people around you as a leader, then you'll care about your impression on them. Then you'll care about your speech. You'll care about your actions. Because people are going to copycat it. They're going to imitate it. They're going to pattern themselves after it. So if I want the best for the people around me, then it's not about what I want, it's about what they need. Read.
With goodwill doing service as to the Lord.
It says, but I do service as to the Lord. Read.
As to the Lord and not to men.
I'm not doing it because man is watching. Uh-oh, I'm being watched. Oh, I don't want to get in trouble. Man, listen, good behavior is good behavior. Good intention is good intention. Wanting to see the best for your people is love that comes from you no matter what's going on. You'll monitor yourself and control yourself and restrain yourself for the people's sake. You'll watch what come out your mouth for the children's sake. Read.
Verse 8. Knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth,
Go ahead.
the same shall he receive of the Lord.
And as a leader, guess what? What you give is what you get.
That's true too.
So if you give disrespect, you get disrespect. If you get foolishness, you get foolishness. You talk reckless, the Most High talk reckless to you. You get what you give. That's how you're rewarded. Read on. If I'm unmerciful to the people around me, the Most High will be unmerciful to me. If I'm unforgiving, the Most High will be unforgiving to me. Read on.
Whether he be bond or free.
Go ahead. So it doesn't matter the position I'm in. Doesn't matter the condition I'm in. Read on.
And ye masters, do the same thing.
And it says, and ye masters, which are leaders. It's talking to the leaders. Read on.
And ye masters, do the same things unto them.
It says, whatever you're telling people to do, make sure you do it yourself. Practice what you preach. He says, and ye masters, do what?
Do the same things unto them, forbearing, threatening.
It says, forbearing what?
Threatening.
It says, now we didn't finish Ecclesiastes 15, 18, and 15. Somebody finished Ecclesiastes 18 and 15. I don't know who had it, but Ecclesiastes 18 and 15.
I got it.
Read it.
Ecclesiastes 18 and 15. My son, blemish not thy good deeds.
He said, don't destroy your good deeds. Read.
Neither use uncomfortable words.
How do I forbear from threatening? How do I make sure I'm not threatening? I make sure I'm not using what?
Neither use uncomfortable words.
So when I'm talking to the sheep, what kind of words do I choose? Comfortable words. When I'm talking to the Most High's flock, I'm trying to train his flock. What kind of word selection do I use? Words that they can understand.
And you know what's so crazy? Even with speaking to like the flock in a comfortable manner, that could be perceived as evil as far as like talking to men a certain way, like they're like children or whatnot. You kind of be perceived as, oh, you son of me or something like that. Because you treat me a certain way as well.
Yeah, because you know how you're talking to the sheep like a father to a son or a mother to a daughter. Somebody that has natural love for somebody. That's how you want to come across. That you actually love them. I'm talking to them. I'm talking to them so they can understand that I love them. That's why I say use not what?
Use not.
He said use not uncomfortable.
Use not uncomfortable words.
Go ahead.
When thou givest anything.
He said when you give anything, don't use what?
Uncomfortable words.
Because the message that you want to spread is that you care, and you don't want to destroy the idea that you care. Damn, you get on my nerves. Here, take it. Damn, go on about your way. Is that care? Get on my face. Here, you bother me. Get on my skin. You tear. Take it. Leave. Go. Do you care? No, you don't care.
He used to say, you're going to get them before you know what, before I do this to them.
Yeah.
Go down there to your auntie, or go down there to your uncle.
Better get out my face.
Daddy, I'm sending them down there to you. I can't take them.
Right. But do you love them though? That's why he said, forbear what? We just read it. He said, forbear what?
Forbear threatening, knowing that your master.
He says, knowing that what?
Knowing that your master also is in heaven.
Guess what? The way you treat your people around you. If you're a leader, you got to understand what? That you got a master where?
In heaven.
Read.
Neither is there respect of persons with him.
And the Most High ain't going to look at your position and give you a pass. The Most High going to look at, okay, you want to treat the subject a certain way? Well, I'm going to deal with you a certain way. So a leader is conscious. We got to wrap it up. A leader has to be extremely conscious about his behavior, actions, speech, conversation, because everything is up for imitation. Everything is a pattern and a copy made for imitation. Everything is a model. People are modeling themselves after you. Everything is important. No mistake is small. No sin is minute. You understand that, right? Give me read that right here in that 184. Follow.
For in reality,
He said, for in reality, read.
a ruler ought to stand up in defense of his subjects.
Instead of threatening them, cussing them out, he said you should stand up in what?
As a defense of his subjects.
Read.
As a father would in defense.
He said you got to treat the sheep like a what?
A father.
These are like your children. They're not your physical children. They're not your blood children, but you love them the same. A leader loves the subject like their children, like his children. Read.
As a father would in defense of his children, that he may be honored by them as if they were his own children.
As if they were what?
His own real children.
He said you got to look at them as if they, the Most High's flock, you got to take them under your wing as if they your own real children. As if they're yours. You want to love them the same. Finish that?
On which account?
No, that's it. That's it. Finish this. Oh yeah, finish reading this right here. Give me this right here. Let me see. Yeah, by making a good king. Finish that. Finish the highlighter. A good king. Start right there. And then stop right here in particular.
Page 114. A good king thinking his highest honor.
He says a good king thinks his highest honor. Go ahead.
His highest honor to consist in the due discharge of his calling, and employeth all his study.
He said a good king will employ all his study. What will a good king do?
Study.
He'll study. So he can be right to the subjects. So if you want to be a good leader, guess what you got to do? You got to study. You want to be a good leader? You better study. You want to be a good parent? You better study. You be a good friend? You better study. Read on.
And pains to procure and maintain.
Go ahead.
By the making and execution of good laws.
Go ahead.
The welfare and peace of his people.
Go ahead.
And as their natural father.
He said, and what?
And as their natural father.
He said, but you gotta be in a position almost as if you're their what?
Natural father.
We just read that in Philo. They're not your children, but you gotta look at them like they're your children. You gotta love them the same. Same thing King James is saying. You gotta look at them like you're their natural father. You want to talk to your kids with love. You want the best for them. Read.
And kindly master.
It said, and what?
Kindly.
Ruthless.
Kindly.
Cutthroat.
Kindly.
Irritated.
Kindly.
You bother me.
Kindly.
And what?
Master.
Go ahead.
Thinketh his greatest contentment standeth in their prosperity, and in his greatest surety, in having their hearts, subjecting his own private affections and appetites to the will and standing of his subjects.
So he wants to implant his discipline upon his subjects. You want the people around you to think like you, because they're going to think like you anyway. But you want them to think like the best of what you have to offer, and give them the best of what you have to offer, not the worst. Finish that.
Ever thinking the common interest his chiefest particular were.
He said, so their common interest is the most important. Last verse, James chapter 3, verse 1. James chapter 3, verse 1. Last verse. Yeah, we'll do it that in a minute. James chapter 3, verse 1.
James chapter 3, verse 1. My brethren.
He said, my brethren, read.
Be not many masters.
He says you got to, when you step into a position of being a leader, he says you got to be careful. Read on.
Knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation.
He says the masters, the leaders, shall receive the what?
The greater condemnation.
Why does the leaders receive the greater condemnation? Because they know more. So the more you know, the more you're accountable for. Your conduct has to change the more you understand. Your behavior has to change. The more instruction you receive. Your speech has to change. The more that you're around the scriptures and the oracles of the Most High, the teaching of the Most High. The more doctrine you receive, the sharper person you're supposed to be. The more careful person you are. You don't just say whatever. You just don't do whatever. So with that, we're going to say shalom. And the water for those that are online. And the water for everybody that came in class tonight. Drive home safely. Get home safely. And this ends the pocket manual for gaining a leadership position. I think that's enough right there for that particular topic of what it means to be a leader. With that, brothers, stay back. Brothers, stay back. We're going to talk with the brothers real quick. But before we do that, there is some food. If Karai, you want to grab? Oh, no, Nagaha. You want to get that Nagaha? Yeah. All right, shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Shalom. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you on Friday. I'll be back in action. All right.
It'll be a live show.
Oh, live shot? Okay, live shot be back in action. Edifying the body. Shalom.